Today on the Millennial Weight Loss Podcast, we talk about how to take your coffee. Believe it or not, that could be one of, if not the thing on your nutrition holding you back. So we're going to go over that right now. You're watching or listening to the Millennial Weight Loss Podcast. Hey guys, this is Pete Weintraub. I'm a permanent weight loss specialist, and this podcast is for folks who are millennials who have 50 or more pounds to lose. I've said 25 or more on previous shows, but the more I've thought about it, the more I really don't resonate with folks who, unless they have a lot of weight to lose. And the reason being is that we've struggled with quite a bit going on. It's not just a physical battle. If it were a simple physical battle, we wouldn't be going through yo-yoing or perhaps just thinking about how shitty it feels to be overweight. Not just physically, but mentally. You have brain fog. You have friends, family, coworkers. Maybe you're in the job market, prospective employers judging you. And there are studies that show that if you're overweight and you otherwise have the same credentials as another job candidate who may be thinner and more attractive, the chances of you getting the job over them are slim to none. So you'd have to blow them away with your credentials and your interview skills. But it's really a tough world out there for us when we're overweight. And I definitely know what that's like. If you haven't heard on previous episodes, you can look back on my YouTube channel. But long story short, I've lost 100 pounds from my heaviest to where I am now. Struggled with childhood obesity. I lost it when I was a teen and I began to play sports and I grew into my body. But instead of gaining a freshman 15 like so many do in college, I gained a sophomore 70. Gained 70 pounds the first 3 months of my sophomore year of college. This destroyed my confidence. I heard it from literally everybody, friends, both at home and at school, family. My love life went from thriving to non-existent, and my confidence in myself for the first time since I was a young kid and I struggled with my weight really faltered. So I know what it's like, and unlike a lot of people who say, oh, I found the magic pill, it didn't happen that way. It took 6 years of dedication, research, and trial and error before I found what worked and before I got into this line of work in the first place. And when I did get into it, I made it my life's mission to help as many people as I can to do the same. And why millennials? Well, we're the same. We're the same age group. We're the same generation. And we're projected to be the heaviest generation the world has ever seen. And I don't want that to happen. There's enough shit going on in the world right now that we got to worry about. We should not have to worry about our weight and our health at such a young age. We want to age gracefully, hopefully better than our parents or even our grandparents who are immobile and hooked up on medications and bullshit. So that's my spiel. So that's what the show is for. So if you're one of those folks, 50 or more pounds to lose, you have no idea how to get it off, and you're tired of being judged by other people, then this is the place for you. So anyway, getting back to coffee, I'll tell you a quick story. I had a client, and she was a mom, not a young mom. She was in her early 40s, but this was a few years ago. And I have a nutrition plan, and I'm going to give that to you guys at a discount. Usually for that, plus my healthy recipe book, I charge $25 each, so $50 total for those two things, but today you can get it for $13.99. Go to the description below this episode, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook or you're listening on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, and go to weightlossbypete.com/foodguide recipes. But anyway, she was following nutrition to a T, and I monitored my client's nutrition on a daily basis. And she was not losing weight, no matter what she did. And I couldn't figure it out until it finally dawned on me after a couple of weeks of stagnation and looking like she had literally been perfect with her food. I was like, well, what do you drink during the day? Is it just water? Like, what are you having? And it turns out she was getting 3 mocha frappuccinos from Starbucks. So I want to show you right now the mocha frappuccino from Starbucks. The mocha frappuccino from Starbucks, this is a tall, and Starbucks says all their shit backwards. Instead of it being a tall being a large and some other word for small being a small. Tall is their smallest size. A tall mocha frappuccino from Starbucks. This is with whipped cream, but whatever. 41 grams of sugar. She was getting a medium, so she was probably getting about 60 to 65 grams of sugar in there. And she was getting that 3 times a day. That's almost 200 grams of sugar in one day. And there's a sentence that I've gone over in previous episodes that we'll go over really quickly. Meats, vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. No sugar, meaning no added sugar. The sugar that is in your diet should be from the fruits and vegetables that you eat. So she was adding 200 grams of sugar to what she was ingesting every single day just by stopping at Starbucks a few times a day and getting a medium size, I forget what that's called at Starbucks, but a medium size mocha frappuccino. All right, and she was getting that 3 times a day. And this happens to so many people where they'll come to me like, hey, Pete, I really eat clean. And I'll look at it and it looks great. And I'll wonder, do they have a hormone deficiency? Is something going on? But then, more often than not, before we even have to think about that, I'll say, well, what do you drink during the day? Like, what do you drink? And usually coffee is the #1 killer because of what they put in their coffee. So we're going to quickly go over what you can put in your coffee in order to make sure that you're on the path to weight loss. So let's start off right away by saying, do not ask for any sugar. It doesn't matter if you get 4 packets of sugar and you cut it back to 2 or even 1. Don't get sugar in your coffee. Ask for it black. Wouldn't recommend cream either, even though a lot of people don't have significant dairy allergies. There's a lot of scientific debate going on right now as to how good or not dairy is for you. I wouldn't play with that, all right? So if you want to lose weight, I'd minimize your milk consumption. I would not put that in your coffee. So get your coffee black, whether it's iced or it's hot, I don't care. What you want to do then is you sweeten it with a couple of different things. You can sweeten it with either stevia leaf extract powder or monk fruit powder. Now, Starbucks personally has a monk fruit sweetener. I believe it's like a monk fruit stevia blend, actually. It's in a powder form. It's in those green, like Whole Earth or whatever it's called, packets. You just open it up, you put it in, you can put in 1 or 2, doesn't matter. Neither of those things affects your blood sugar in any way, shape, or form. They don't stimulate the insulin resistance cycle. You'll be fine. Also, if you want to really extend your body's fat burning, you can add in a supplement called MCT oil. What MCT, it's an acronym. It stands for medium chain triglycerides. Often it's derived from coconuts, and basically it's a high fat liquid that you would put into the coffee. I would not recommend putting in more than a tablespoon, 2 tops. If you're new to it, start with 1 tablespoon. I'm telling you, if you overdo the MCT oil, you will get the runs. How do I know? Because it happened to me, and it's happened to some of my clients who are a little overzealous with it. What that does, because it's such a high fat thing, coffee is barely caloric, and either one of monk fruit or stevia is a non-insulin stimulating sweetener, is that the fat will keep you fuller for longer. So if you're one of those people where you're starving throughout the morning and you want to maybe try intermittent fasting, if you want, check out the episode above here. I did an interview with Tyson Brown from Australia last week, and it was great, and we talked about the benefits of intermittent fasting, so you definitely want to check that out. I'll put the link in the description below if you're listening to this or watching it on another platform. But basically, what this does is it helps to hold you over until lunch, right? So instead of grazing all morning, being hungry, having brain fog, and being irritable, you're having something that will satiate you, that will keep your energy levels regulated, and you'll be able to burn fat while you're at your desk at work or doing whatever it is that you do. So, moral of the story with coffee, get it black, sweeten it with monk fruit or stevia leaf powder, and if you want, you can add in some MCT oil. Look at the bottle. They will tell you do not have more than 2 or 3 tablespoons in one sitting. Start with 1 or you will be on the toilet all day spewing liquid out of your ass. I hope you found this helpful. So guys, like I mentioned before, the food guide. The food guide will teach you things just like this about nutrition. It goes into pretty good detail. It's not that long, it's not that boring. We have fun images and pictographs, but basically it explains nutrition very simply so that everything that I would teach one of my clients, you can learn. And again, usually the food guide goes for $25. You can get it today for about $7 because I'm bundling that with my healthy recipe book. So if you don't cook right now, you need to learn how to cook. You don't have to cook all the time. In fact, I get most of my meals delivered, but if you're going to go to the store, maybe you're trying to save some money, cooking is cheaper than either getting a meal delivery service or ordering takeout once or twice a day. So the Healthy Recipe Book has 72 recipes spanning breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, appetizers, and desserts. All healthy ingredients in there. I got the recipes from great sources. And like I said, each ebook is $25 each, so it's $50 altogether. But today you can get it for $13.99. Go to the link in the description below, weightlossbypete.com/food guide recipes, and you'll be able to take advantage of that. So guys, thanks so much for checking it out. Tomorrow is Thursday, which means it's mailbag day. So to get involved in that, go to the Facebook page, the Millennial Weight Loss Podcast Facebook page. Ask to join. I'll let you in. I'm going to be asking a couple of times, do you have any questions for the mailbag tomorrow? And we'll spend a lot of time tomorrow answering that. So again, thank you so much for watching. This is Pete Weintraub. I'm a permanent weight loss specialist. This show is for millennials who have 50 or more pounds to lose, and you're sick and tired of being judged by your friends, family, coworkers, pretty much all of civilization for being overweight, and you're ready to do something about it now. I'll come back at you tomorrow with our mailbag. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. Talk to you then.